All right, hey guys, we want to start, right? Okay, thank you for joining DevRel Asia vol.5, right? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so this slide indicate cheers, but we have no alcohol here. So that you can have any drink with how should I 自動販売機ってなんて言うんだんあ、ベンディングマシンか。Vending machine or something, right? But anyway, it's the skip this right. All right, this is important task that we have the community. This is community, and we the guys. That's why the I know the all of you guys have this your smartphone. So please take your smartphone and take any shot this around here and post your Twitter or something. Yes, of course, welcome your post on your LinkedIn or something, right? Okay, we have the few minutes. So please tweet now with the hashtag DevRel Asia, right? Okay, also me, right? Right, cool. And okay, DevRel Asia, yes, yes, right. Thank you. And today's theme is community, right? The share knowledge, tips or something the for your community works, or if you are only audience, that you can learn about how to drive your community from each session. And possible the important thing we really appreciate the full feed. It's correct name feed, right? Thank you for using this community space. Actually it's first time to come here. Yeah, but really the clean and it's nice place for not only co-working space but also the having any community event or something, right? Okay. Okay, today's agenda. This is the agenda. It's the same as the display on the meetup.com. Yeah, but just I worry about Atsushi-san. Do we have the sponsor session from the feed? Right, the first one. Okay. Sorry, this is the without the sponsor session. But first of all, we'd like to please the talk just a sponsor session by our feed people, right? And now currently we are hiring the organizer. If you're interested in the organize together this meetup, so please contact us. The mainly the Atsushi-san is the main organizer, right? Okay, and lastly, we'd like to announce our Twitter account, DevRel Asia. Please follow us. Right. Okay, so let's move to the self introduction time. Let me check. Okay. Right, the self introduction that is the 32nd a person. I'll go first, and maybe it's better to start with the first with the Kotobuki sign that around here. Okay. Okay. Hey guys, my name is Taiji Hagino. I work at Datadog as a senior technical evangelist, and I also be a co-organizer of this meetup with Atsushi-san, the Oda show or something, right? And I'm happy to be host today for this meetup event, and I hope you all guys have fun, and maybe it's possibly they come again to join this meetup if you all have any chance to come again to Japan. Right. Thank you. This might be the to the broadcast for the audiences
Okay.
online. Just so please use this mic.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kaori. And I'm in charge of public relations of Vivaldi Technologies. Do you know the browser Vivaldi? We will talk about Vivaldi later from our CEO, Yonghon Tetsuna. And actually, Vivaldi is my side job. My main job is our PR public relations of our six apart. Maybe some of you know the company of movable type. So the movable type is a small company. So uh, I am in charge of a PR. So not the main focus is developer relation, but the focus area of developer relation and public relation is really some of time something similar. So I know I learned a lot from Nakatsugawa-san. So I'm so excited to hear a lot about developer relations techniques, ideas from another person's the presentation today. Thank you.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Wasim. I'm French but living in Tokyo for 1 year. I'm in charge of developer relations for Elestio, a SaaS platform to deploy and install open source software. And also I'm doing YouTube videos where I do development tutorials to build 3D websites. Thank you very much.
Me. Hi, I'm Jon von Tetzner. I'm CEO and co-founder of Vivaldi. We make web browsers. In the past, I was CEO and co-founder of another browser company called Opera. So I've been doing browsers now since 1994 and working on the web since 1992. And I'm going to be talking a bit about Vivaldi and what we are doing with Mastodon.
Should I be talking to the camera here? Hello. Hi, my name is Tatsuki Tomita. I'm also one of the co-founder of Vivaldi. I normally based in California. And so Yon and I came to Tokyo to promote one of our new products. Normally, I do kind of work with our partners. So, Vivaldi is running on top of a Chromium engine, which is open source by Google. So working companies like Google. Yon is going to talk a little bit later, but we do work with lots of increasingly car manufacturers like Mercedes-Benz and Audi and things like that. So I do work with many of our technology partners. But anyway, happy to be here. Thank you. So thank you for including us. All right.
Hi, I'm Kyohei. So maybe this pronunciation is a little bit difficult, so you can call me Kyo. This is my English name. Now I'm working at the Wix. Wix is a website builder, and headquarters is located in Israel. And I'm a solution engineer and a developer relationship. This is first time to using English job. So sometimes my English is messy, so so go easy on me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Odasho, belong to Mabel. Mabel is a test automation platform. You can make easily integrate CI/CD pipelines. So actually, I'm organizer in this event, but I have joined this community maybe first time. Okay, so today I will talk my session, last session. I introduce our product and me in this session. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Atsushi. I'm main organizer of this meetup, and I run my business Moongift in Japan, and it's an agency of developer relations from in 2014, maybe. Yeah, and I think I'm number one DevRel guy in Japan. Thank you.
もしよければお二人も自己紹介いただいて伸びないです。
everyone. My name is Ayumi Tona. I'm from people. フィーブの広報担当してます。よろしくお願いします。後で説明します。はい。
Hi everyone, I am Ken Chao and freelance and made a business or made a IT solution about us. And our team make this name 中国語でそうなりますね。FEEP っていう名前のスタートアップを作りました。今、6店舗あります。もともとアメリカまで行く、世界で2000店舗作るっていう目標でやっています。なので、そのうちまたどこかで使えるようになると思います。よろしくお願いいたします。
Right, thank you, everyone. Right. Okay, so let's get to move to the first session. The first session is, as I mentioned, you guys, from feed the sponsor session, right? Okay, so フィードさんのセッションを一番最初でお願いしても大丈夫ですか？
動かすやつは
パソコンをもしあれだったらこっちに持ってきていただいて操作していただく。多分ここに置いていただいて、はい、動かしながら。これ声拾ってるのでお願いします。
Hello everyone. My name is Ayumi Tona and I am responsible for public relations at FEEP. I would like to introduce the meeting space FEEP. My English is not perfect. However, I will do my best to communicate in English since this is an English-only event. Let's dive right into the explanation. The space you're currently in is FEEP Shinjuku Nishiguchi. The space FEEP is a productive space where you can make a reservation in 30 seconds using our app. As you can see from the screen, FEEP has 3 key features. 1. A natural and stylish store design. 2. Spacious seating arrangement. 3. Quick and easy booking through the app. We offer various types of seats, including semi-private group seats and single seats. We also have counter and open seats, without monitors or roll curtains. Additionally, there are group and single seats in private rooms with doors. The Shinjuku branch has all seating types except open seating. So please take a moment to explore the different seating types available after the presentation. FEEP is designed to provide a comfortable working environment along with essential amenities such as power outlet, Wi-Fi, and monitors. We enhance the atmosphere with aromas and background music. Our specially developed sofas are designed to minimize fatigue even during long periods of sitting. Another appealing aspect of FEEP is its convenient location near train stations. Apart from Shinjuku, we have stores in Shibuya, Ikebukuro, Shimbashi, Ueno, and Akihabara, all within a 5 minutes walk from the nearest station. To use FIP as indicated in the provided materials, simply download the app, complete the initial registration, and you can immediately make reservations. I will hand out leaflet later, so please be sure to register. To conclude the brief explanation of FIP, I highly recommend that everyone take advantage of FIP for various purposes, including small and spontaneous mokumoku kai, review sessions, occasions when you prefer to work remotely, but occasional in-person interactions, one-on-one meetings, and more. Thank you for attention. ありがとうございました。
Thank you. Sorry, guys. Right. But it's just a sponsor session. But if you have any questions for you guys, good place. Good place.
If I need to this venue, so I can should I download your application, right? ここを使いたい場合はアプリケーションから予約すれば OK なんですよね。OK です。ありがとうございます。
His question is how to use any tools for reservation of this place. So she said that just use the application that provided for them with this QR code. You can download this application. Right? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's move to the next session. Next session is okay. This is a Vivaldi session, right? The praise already to present. Right. This actually we also now broadcasting that this meetup for YouTube. So please use this mic to speak. Right. Okay.
Is it better for me to be over here, or how's this? Maybe it's better. Then I can see Tusky instead of. All right. Are we ready?
Right.
So I guess I've done the introduction before. I'm Jon von Tetzner, CEO and co-founder of Vivaldi. Thank you for inviting me to be here today. It's great to be here. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever while I'm speaking, feel free to raise your hands and ask. I'm going to say a few words about Vivaldi. We have a position of providing the best internet experience on any device. And I can say that that's something that we've been doing for a long time, Tusky and myself. Actually, like I said, in the previous life, we were at a company called Opera. So we were building that browser company, but now we are building Vivaldi. So we can go on. And what is rather unique about what we are doing, I hope all of you are using Vivaldi, or at the very least have tried it. But we are providing a browser, and actually we are the only ones that are providing browsers for PCs, mobile phones, tablets, and cars. So that's rather unique. And I'd like to mention something, given that we are kind of technology people here. The browser UI on the desktop side, I'd like to say, is made using web standards. So it's Is it working now? All right. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to say one of the things that I'm kind of proud of, because we're building a browser, but the user interface of the browser on the desktop side is web-based. So it's all using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the like. So I kind of like to add that, but let's move on. We're about 50 people. Most of the team is in Norway. We have a group of people in Iceland, and that's where we're hosting our servers. We have 25 nationalities, and we have no investors. The reason for that is we would like to make sure that we stay on the straight and narrow. So as a company, that's something that's really important to us, because, again, we would like to make sure that we build a great browser for our users. We are rather unique on the community side. And I don't know if you guys know about this, about other companies, but we actually have people that are volunteering to help us. So we build a product, and we have people that are helping us test it. Now, that's the Sopranos. They have access to Jira, so our bug tracking system, and they're helping us basically go through the bugs and report issues. These are highly technical people that are helping us sometimes deal with extremely complicated tasks. So they're helping us deal with that. We have hundreds of translators that are helping us translate Vivaldi into multiple languages. We'd like to support as many languages as possible, and we are even supporting languages that Chromium is not doing. And again, as we are based on Chromium, that's a special situation. We have our own forums and blogs, and we have moderators that are volunteering to help us with that. And we have ambassadors. We have people that are helping spread the word about Vivaldi to their friends and others, obviously recommending them to try out a more powerful browser. So our thinking in what we are doing is building a browser that adapts to your needs instead of just a browser that you need to adapt to. So we have a lot more features than anyone else. We have a lot more flexibility than anyone else. And that's something that you can use to build a browser that is actually something that's made for you instead of just everyone else. So this is a little bit of an overview of what we are working on. We have a browser delivery on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And that desktop browser, by the way, we built in a mail client, calendar, and feeds. On the mobile browser side, we have an Android browser. And just recently, actually, we're showing off our iOS browser for the first time here in Japan. So we made a test flight available, which I guess got full pretty quickly. So we're trying out that a little bit. And we have some cars. We're working with some car companies. So our browser has started to be available in a number of cars. It started with the Polestar. The first car is the Polestar 2. Then we followed with Renault. We just announced with Mercedes that they are shipping pretty soon, the Mercedes E-Class, Mercedes-Benz E-Class. We are working with the Volkswagen Group, which, if you're familiar with that, that's like Audi, Volkswagen, Skoda, Porsche, Bentley, a few other brands. And actually, we were at Google I/O. So Google announced for the first time that there will be browsers available on Android Automotive, and we have the first one. And I mean, we kind of been alone in this for 2 years. It's weird. I didn't really expect that to be happening, but our browser has been the only one available on Android Automotive in cars now for more than 18 months. So we're also providing free services, and this is kind of important to us, and I guess this is getting more and more to the subject of today. We believe in building our own community. We don't think that it's right to basically rely on others, which have a tendency to switch business models in the middle of it. So those of you that maybe started with Facebook early, were you expecting that to reach your kind of those that follow you, that you'd have to pay for it, right? Were you expecting that on Twitter, like just recently happened, that you have to pay some figure per month? Now, if an individual, it's $8, and that's what everyone has been focusing on to get that blue check mark. But for companies, it's a lot more to be visible in the For You feeds, right? So this is a question of, okay, is it feasible in today's world to be building a social network or social networking system based on someone else that may decide to suddenly close the channels that you spent a lot of money actually building? And I think what people are learning is, okay, it was pretty nice for a while there not to have to implement your own community and your own standards, that you could get a lot of things for free by just going into these ready-made systems, and you could easily get a lot of followers, but then those followers are suddenly not there. Anyway, so we, on our free services, we're providing synchronization. This makes sense. You have a browser across your Mac, Linux, Windows, mobile phones, cars, etc. You want to synchronize data between them, so that's a basic service of a browser. We provide also actually free webmail and calendar for our users. We have limited the webmail a little bit. We had too much issues with spammers. Free email is a problem. So we decided to make it a little bit more exclusive. So it's now exclusive for our hardcore users. We provide a forum. And again, this is a place for our users to go and discuss. And again, you could say, okay, you can set up a Facebook group or something, but that's not the same as a forum. A forum is a place where you can have discussions on the products. And in our forums, you actually find, again, those volunteers that I mentioned before, as well as employees. They're there to answer questions, give advice, listen to what people would like to see in the product. Because for us as a company, it's extremely important to listen to our users. That's the core of what we are and who we want to be. We want to build the best possible products for our users. And to do that, we have to listen. And this is one great place to do that, and that's in the forums. And then we have the blog. And the blog is another place where it's basically we're providing a free blogging platform for our users. There's no ads, there's no nothing. We don't have a business model per se with services. This is something that we offer our users for free. And you may ask, okay, so why were you doing that? Well, we're doing that because we want to treat our users in the best possible way. Now, you don't have to be using Vivaldi to use the services, but it helps, right? And then we got to the social platform. I'll jump a little bit into the cars first, right? So this is the first car, and we're kind of proud of this. I mean, being the first at something is unique. Now, when we were building Opera, we were first at, in many ways, on the mobile side. We were also built into the Nintendo Wii and the DSi and all the services. So that's something I'm very proud of. Now, with Vivaldi, we're first in cars on Android Automotive. There's been browsers in other cars. We actually had a very nice comment from Elon Musk about the browser in the Tesla, where he said it was crap. And we did a little bit of a comparison. We agreed that he was being honest on his assessment. But yeah, we're trying to do things different. So if we go on, we were, as I said, at Google I/O, they talked about browsers becoming available in cars, and ours is so far the only one. And this is about being able to adapt to the needs of the users. Again, we pride ourselves in adapting to the needs of the individual, but the individual can also be on different devices. And the most extreme of that is then the cars. So we've been working with a number of different brands on this, and as you see, the list is getting longer. Now, when it comes to Vivaldi Social, for me, we were seeing that. You've seen this all. What's been happening in the social network? It's getting ugly, right? People are hating each other. The algorithms, I don't know. If I had written that algorithm that these guys have been using, which basically make people hate each other, I would probably have changed the algorithm or quit or done something. I don't know. I would not have accepted an algorithm that actually makes people hate each other, even though it makes me more money. I presume all of you agree with that principle. So when you have that kind of situation, I think there's a realization that we need to go back to the web, how it was supposed to be. And the web is supposed to be distributed. So instead of using big tech social hubs, everyone builds their own server. I mean, you can do it individually if you like, or you can join one of the thousands of servers that is using Mastodon, or any of the other Fediverse technologies. So jumping a little bit, for me, the special thing is something called ActivityPub. Are you familiar with ActivityPub? Okay. So ActivityPub is a standard written by the W3C. So that's the World Wide Web Organization, the consortium. So this is an official standard. It's not something like, okay, Microsoft makes a standard, Google makes a standard. This is actually by an organization where all those different companies are members, and you agree on a standard to be implemented. So the ActivityPub allows you to define a distributed social web, and then you can implement different solutions. That is called the Fediverse, and all those different solutions. There's something that is kind of like an Instagram. There's something kind of like a YouTube, and basically anyone can go and build a new service following those standards. And one of those happens to be Mastodon. So we decided to jump on Mastodon. And a lot of the reason we were seeing basically what was happening with Twitter, and we felt, okay, this is the right time. Maybe people will start to understand. I think Elon Musk is basically trying to tell people, you know what, see what you can do if you have your own kind of social network, how much you can mess it up. And that seems to be basically what he's doing. He's messing up Twitter, telling all of us to move to something else. So take a hint. And for you guys that are into this, you should look at, okay, how can you help the company that you're in? How can you help all the other companies that should be building their own? And a number of them are. So what we've been seeing recently is basically there's a movement where, I think this is particularly in Europe, because so you'll find like the EU is there, the European Union is there. You'll find like German government is there. You'll find newspapers are there. Tech, some of the biggest tech magazines in Germany are already there. Universities are starting to move there. And why would they do that? Now, the nice thing is, if you build your own server like this, it's distributed. But you can follow things on any server, right? So you don't have to just follow people that are on your server. You can follow people on any server. The content that is shown in the feed, that's your content, the things that you follow. There's nothing else being put in there. Now, there's a downside to this. It can be a little bit empty in the beginning. We have to look at other things that we can do to kind of improve on that. But overall, instead of getting all kind of content about people like you liking this or liking that, you're getting the people that you're following and not really anything else. But you can follow people on any server, which is, again, unique. If you're putting up something for an organization, you can identify all those that are working in the organization, kind of like if you have email. If you have that email address, that means that you're working for the organization. There's a simple way of identifying whether you're in the organization. You do a change on the server, which you put in a little line somewhere on the server, which identifies that you are an employee of that organization, because you were able to get that page changed. That's how you kind of, it's a simple thing. No one is having to pay anything. So it's a question of being able to have control over the web server, the assumption is if you're able to control the web server, you're able to control who is listed as being an employee of that company. Make sense, right? So from that perspective, you've identified the different people that are using the server. You are now able to send out your message. Now, if someone suddenly decides that they don't like what you're sending out for whatever reason, it still gets out. Unless you post something everyone hates, and then you'll be blocked everywhere. Because you as a user, you're able to block individuals and you're able to block servers. Now you say, okay, why would you block a whole server? Well, that might be because someone puts up a server that is full of crap. So everyone will block the crypto server because it's basically pushing crypto. There's a Nazi server as well. And by the way, sadly, this technology is also being used by, this is being used, if you heard of Truth Social, they're using this, but no one is federating with them. So you won't see what they're posting on that server because they want to keep it for themselves. And similarly with Gab, which is another kind of right-wing server, you won't be seeing that. So there's a basic rule on Mastodon, which is be kind, basically, for the most part. You tend to put up certain rules for what is on your server, and moderation is happening kind of both distributed and globally. It actually works pretty well overall, because again, you can moderate individually, but basically what happens fairly quickly if some server is being used for spam or other things, it just gets blocked. It's relatively simple that way. Did I make myself clear? Or questions?
Any questions?
My imagine, so each social media have a different characteristic, like Twitter's, LinkedIn, Facebook, what type of social medias. How about the Mastodons? How about, do you think, what about the Mastodon users?
Well, I think they're interesting for the technology. I mean, you can basically make a server for anything, right? And that's kind of interesting. You could make a club. And there's actually, if you look at the number of Mastodon servers, a number of them are they're localized or specialized. There is kind of a one for Scottish people. There's one for kind of people from different countries. Those are typically in a localized language, and you can set up a server and it grows fairly quickly. You might have some other special interest. So you can build a server that is for special interest. You can then join that server, but you can still watch what happens on all other servers. There are some other servers that are almost like just silly, like the only thing you can say is meow. I mean, you can do whatever you like, right? So from that perspective, and you set your own rule on each server, what you're able and not able to do, and who you follow and not follow, and you'll find different groups. And there's, I guess there's a difference between the different servers, how much they want their content to be visible on other servers for various reasons. But overall, I mean, that's the beauty of it. You have control over your server and how it applies to the rest of the Fediverse, both to what extent your content is visible on other servers. You can make sure, you can say, okay, I don't want it visible anywhere else. And to what extent content from other services are available on your server. And then you as a user, you select the server that fits you personally the best. I mean, something that you identify with or the like, which is a fantastic opportunity also for companies to build servers for their audience and their users. And so I think this is a possibility of replacing the broken social network system we have today, where there's just some guys deciding in the middle of it all. Other questions?
Don't you think it's a bit risky for people to choose the servers they are on? Because let's say you join conspiracy group and you only have those kind of content in your feed, you will have fake truth, and you will think it's what is real. You will have a bias because you're only with people thinking the same thing and saying it's true, and there's no control over it. So what are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I actually thought you were going somewhere else with the question initially. So I will talk about what I thought you were thinking, and then I'll talk about that as well. Because one of the beauty of the system, if you're on a server that you don't like the content of, or you don't want to be associated with, maybe the content, someone is hosting a server, like you were on Twitter, right? And you would say, I don't like Twitter anymore. I want to go somewhere else. Now, if you're using Mastodon, you could do that and you could bring all your followers with you. So you just say, hey, I don't like being here anymore. I don't like the guy who's running the server. He's a jerk. I'm going somewhere else. And I'm taking all my followers with me and everyone else that I'm following. So I just moved. Don't like this neighborhood anymore. I'm gone. You can do that. That's part of the system. That's beautiful. Because, again, if you're on the wrong server, the point is you can follow things anywhere. I mean, obviously, if you're on Facebook or something, you're in the wrong groups, that can happen there as well. But at least it doesn't happen through an algorithm that basically figures out that because you're white, male, that you are probably going to be a hateful person and that you need more hateful content all the time, right? Or, I mean, basically this idea that we're all different and we need to be hating each other, which, I mean, Facebook found out, this is known information, that their algorithms was making people hate each other. It was just good for business, right? If you're making that kind of decision, maybe you should be somewhere else. Do you want to be part of that, or do you want to build your own server with your own people? I mean, you could build your own server, and you could put up your own server. You can invite your friends, and then you can have your friends hosted on your server. It's actually pretty cheap to set up your own server like that. It costs a few dollars a month. You can host your own server. You can put up a few of your friends. They can follow things on all the servers, and what they post, you can see the local posts, so you can see things that's global. I think, I mean, for me, I've been on the web since 1992. And to me, what is happening now is kind of reminding me of those early days where we were taking on big tech. Now, big tech at that time was the evil empire, Microsoft, right? So we took on Microsoft and we took on a few others that were building online systems that were not open, they were closed, and we won. And I think now there was a problem. The empire struck back, and we had a bit of an issue with the social networks going in the wrong direction. I think we all agree there's a problem there. And I think this is the way we can take this section of the web, put it under control. Because if social media wasn't so messed up as it is today, the web would be a lot better than it is, right? Other questions?
This is a question from my personal question, not as a PR of Vivaldi, just my personal question. So in Japan, Mastodon is also decentralized social network, open platform, I know. And in Japan, the Blue Sky is also one of famous decentralized social network. So now the Blue Sky is to start Blue Sky, they need to have an invitation code. So only few early adopters can use Blue Sky right now. But the Blue Sky is also one of 80 protocol, and it is something similar of Mastodon, but something not similar of Mastodon. I'm not sure about the detail technology of Blue Sky, but I want to ask about, do you have any opinion about Blue Sky or Blue Sky? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the core is ActivityPub. Basically, there's an open standard at the bottom of this, and it basically opens up that anyone could set up a server, whether it's a Mastodon server or something else. By the way, if you're using one of those other servers that are more like YouTube or any of these other services, you can even follow them from Mastodon. And actually, setting up, for example, very easy, if you've been building a blog, you can have your blog automatically publish using these protocols. So basically, if you're building kind of basically anything that can generate an RSS feed can become integrated into this world as well. And that's unique. So, I mean, to me, yes, there will be other services that are kind of more or less closed, like Blue Sky. I don't see Blue Sky as being an open standard. I don't see it. It may be open source eventually or whatever. I don't know. For me, it doesn't even matter, because the real question is it based on open standards? Can anyone set up a server? Can anyone set up a server of a different kind that is not exactly like this one and differentiate on it? That's where the uniqueness and the innovation comes into play. And this is, again, I'm sure there will be a lot of different kinds of servers. I'm talking about Mastodon. We chose to start with Mastodon, but it's the Fediverse. And I know everyone kind of in the tech community that's really into this. They would say, hey, oh, don't talk only about Mastodon, talk about the Fediverse. I'm doing that because you can set up other. So if you want to do an Instagram-like server, you can do that instead. It doesn't have to look like Twitter. It can look like any other service, or you can innovate another service that integrates with all the other services. So if someone would like to follow that content on their Mastodon server or any of the other servers, they're able to do that. Make sense? So I'm just asking you all, just put up a server, right? Put up a server, get into this, whether it's Mastodon or any of these other Fediverse, or make your own. As long as it's following the standards, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, and good presentation.
Thank you.
Right, we'd like to move to the next session, presented by Rashim. Please prepare.
Thank you. So hello again. I'm happy to have this talk tonight because it's the one I made at the DevRel Con, but it was in March and things evolved a lot. So I updated a bit my conference because we had new version of ChatGPT. So today we're going to talk about how to use ChatGPT to grow and engage a developer community. So first thing, you might know what it is, but let's recap a little bit. What is ChatGPT? So it's a chatbot made by OpenAI. The big thing that made it such a huge success and a big adoption worldwide is the fact that it is a chatbot. It's the first time we generate human-like content from AI, and many people now are using it in their daily life, daily work. It's free, even if there are paid options like ChatGPT Plus or the API from OpenAI that costs, but globally, everyone can use it for free. It's based on prompts, so a lot of things of the answers from ChatGPT come from those prompts, and based on how good you will become at telling it what you want, you will have better answers or bad ones from the bot. And last one is API. It had an exclamation mark because it didn't exist at the moment I wrote the speak, but now it's available and we will a bit discuss about it. So as a DevRel, how can we use ChatGPT to gain time and do our developer relation tasks? So usually if you work in that standard, it will be split in three things. You will define a strategy on what actions you will take based on the budget you have, based on the resources and based on your goals. You will also apply that strategy, do those actions. And based on that, you will have the outcome, you will get feedbacks, you will have results. And based on that, you will have an infinite loop trying to improve it over time if you want to improve it. And what is great is that ChatGPT, because it's like a human assistant, can help you on all those tasks and is very helpful on it. So we will see some effective ways to use it in your DevRel tasks. The first one is ideas generator. So this one can be both for strategy and execution. Let's say when you start a task and you don't have ideas, you can say what is your goal, what you are trying to structure in your mind, and ChatGPT can give you ideas. The best your prompts will be, the more precise it will help you. But you can write many messages to be more precise, and over time you will have a lot of things to work on. You can ask, for example, like in the screenshot, I don't know if you can read, but I asked some topics and ideas for my company to create content on. And ChatGPT gave me 10 themes, 10 topics that I could use to write my content about. So it didn't write it for me, but it gave me ideas I can work around, and later I can still use ChatGPT to help me doing it. But when you are nowhere, it can help you and you are not alone. It's the same than having a team available 24 hours, 7 days a week, but it's AI. You can also generate alternatives. So you have ideas, maybe you have ideas that worked well in the past, but you want to make some updates or rework it to make it better, and you can ask for alternatives, and it works pretty well to help you with this. And you can also use ChatGPT as a trend itself, because it's very trendy now, even with new AI appearing. But let's say we have GPT-4 that came, and again, it was a new wave of content on social media talking about it. So you can use it as a trend to create content speaking about ChatGPT itself. One of the things that works very well is about content writing, because it can do many different stuff. The first one is rewriting. So let's say you have a sentence you want to either expand or shorten. Maybe you have a tweet, you want to make it a LinkedIn post. So you have the rough idea. You can ask ChatGPT to expand it and make multiple paragraphs. Either you just say write a LinkedIn post based on that Twitter post, but the best is to say write that LinkedIn post with those new parts, and you say the title and maybe the description of those paragraphs, and it can help you writing it for you. But even when it's written by the AI, it's still good to add your own personal touch and to make it human again, because if we don't, every content will look like the same. It can also be very powerful as a grammar checker. I'm not a native English speaker, so my main language is French, but I'm working in English, so it's a good way to sound more English when I write my content. It also helps to avoid some mistakes I can make, and I guess you hear I sometimes do while I'm speaking. So with the content I create with ChatGPT, it has less mistakes, maybe still there are. And even with all that power you have to have content generated by AI, you really need to keep the control over it, because it has some limits. It can sound robotic, it can sound fake. Me, the more I use it over the month, the more I can say when I read a text that it comes from ChatGPT, because if you don't rewrite and you just copy paste, it has the tendency to almost start some kind of content the same way. By example, if you ask to write a small YouTube description, it will always do the same marketing sentences. So if you just take it and output it on your content, it will sound fake, and you won't have the benefits of using AI. You will just do spammy content. Another great way for developer relations, because often we are involved on either creating documentation or building MVP to demonstrate how to use our platform, how to use our APIs. So we can use it to write better code and to make our code more understandable. A great thing is to analyze the code. If you just copy paste a function, it will be able to understand what it is, add comments, even sometimes with just few context. It don't always need the whole app code. It will deduce it. But a limit it has is that ChatGPT is not very humble. So if it doesn't know, it will try to guess and act like if it knows. So sometimes you have to say, no, it's not about this, it's about that. You have to correct, and you always need that human control at the moment we're speaking. Maybe in the next iteration it will be different, but for now it's a great tool for people who have control. But if you lose that control, it will be felt in whatever you create from AI. A great thing it can also do is writing the documentation for you. So you can add comments to your code, but you can also give the commented code and output some documentation on it. It's also good at generating specific syntax. So you can say, okay, reply to me not with just basic text, but reply to me with HTML, reply to me with JSON. So you say the syntax of your JSON content, and you will say, I want a JSON array with a title, description, and some specific objects, and it will be able to output it so you can use it in your project a good way. And now we have API. It's very powerful to help to use it as a help to have the content formatted the way we want. And now something that didn't exist, but now it is possible, is the fact that OpenAI API is available. A fear I had is it would be very expensive, but in fact it is less expensive than the previous model from OpenAI, which was DaVinci. It's 10 times less expensive. So it's available for people to build application using that model. So for our tasks, great things we can do are using it as a search engine. So you provide all your pages, you say what it is about, and instead of using a search engine like Google that will be based on the text, the AI will be able to index your content more based on the meaning of your sentence. So even if no word match, because it has a particular sense, the AI will be able to find that content and to deliver you. And also because it's able to humanly speak, it can explain to you more than just the content itself. So it can be very useful for virtual support. Let's say instead of having a team in charge of replying to users, customers on the chat, you will have a bot with all the documentation, and it will be able, like the search engine, to find the answers from it. And it will be used as a bridge. You can say, when you don't know the answer, send an email to the team or create a ticket, and then your team will come back and take the lead, but it can help not losing time. And for the outcome of your strategy, you can give all your results or all your metrics. I don't know what files you can generate, but maybe you have CSV from Excel with all your data. You give it to ChatGPT and you say, okay, what can you get from those data? And you will have, instead of you looking and doing complex formula, it will be able to instantly find what could be enhanced or give you some insight on what to look on. Even if it's not 100% accurate, it's a starting point to help you on analyzing your reports. So now let's talk about some limits of using ChatGPT. The first one we can have, and maybe it's true, is it a job stealer. So there are some jobs that can be replaced by ChatGPT, but it will also create jobs because we need people to build around. So technology always is destructive for some jobs and create jobs. I can't know yet if it will create more than it destroy, but I think for the moment that it creates a lot of opportunity and it helps a lot of people creating with it. So for the moment, I don't think we have to set an alarm about it. Another limit I saw, but it's not 100% true anymore. It was only OpenAI that created that product that was very differentiating to the other AI. But now we have Bard from Google, which has quite the same level of awesomeness. And I guess in the future, we will have other open source model that will be able to provide that level of quality. And we can see it on image generation. So it's also a risk that is living soon. The third point is something I'm already living in my lab is now you're used to work with ChatGPT. If you don't have it, it's very complicated because human nature is doing the less effort to achieve the same task. So if you don't have it and you were used to do some tasks 10 times faster, you don't want to get back to normal life without using AI. For example, this morning I was using ChatGPT and the answer took maybe 10 seconds to generate. And I was like, it's frustrating me that it takes 10 seconds, but if I did that task, it will take me maybe 15 minutes, half an hour. And I felt like it's slow because we are used to API entering in real time, but just waiting 10 seconds, I feel frustrated. It's nonsense, but it's human nature, and I can't fight against it. And last limit I see is the overflow of AI-generated content, and maybe the quality of posts we'll see might decrease or look too much the same, while it will be that data that will feed AI, and maybe it will decrease the next model that will be using it, especially since the fourth version is using data from online and now. So we have to be fair and to try the maximum we can to still keep the control on the content we create. And because it's so easy to create content, there will be a lot of content created, and it will be more and more difficult for people to stand out on that crowded place of generated content. So my conclusion about ChatGPT and how to use it for our DevRel tasks is it's a perfect assistant because it's always available. It makes things very faster than if we do it by ourselves for some specific task, not for anything, but it can be very helpful. I see it as well for junior developers that can use it as an expert that can help at any time without getting mad of too many questions, but also for senior developer who need who know what they do, but they need sometimes help, and it speed up the process. It's life-changing. At least for me, it's already the case. I'm using it almost daily, maybe not in my personal life, even if sometimes I might. I'm learning Japanese using ChatGPT, so it's a great teacher. AI will be a bridge, and we are starting a new era because we don't know what will be the future, because each iteration is exponential, and for now it's great. Maybe it will be even greater, but it has some risks that we need to take care of. So thank you very much.
Sorry, actually, the schedule is a little bit behind, so we would like to have a copy and having Q&A after the next session. For these two sessions, right? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you, Rush. Right. So next session they'll be presented by Odasho. Are you ready? All right. Hey, okay.
Okay. Hi everyone again. I'm Odasho. Today, I will talk about the need for a user community. Okay. It's been quite a while since I've given a talk in English, so I'm a little nervous. Okay. I'm Odasho. I'm Odasho, belong to Mabel, quality advocate. The company that detail the test automation product where I work to educate people about the technology and culture. My latest problem is, so I have been working on for American companies 5 years, but my English not improving. Okay. If you live in Japan, you probably know me because do you know me? It's Japanese TV show. It's Japanese TV show. So I have purchased iPhone every year for the past 4 years before anyone else. I'm 4 times champion. You know? So this photo interviewers said, so why you anxiously awaiting your purchase? I I respond to that interview. Oh, what? I'm already waiting to buy an iPhone next year. maybe I get iPhone more than anyone else this year. Okay. So now enough kidding. So sorry. As you can see, so Mabel offers easy testing, API testing, so performance testing. It is load testing, and sorry, and accessibility testing. So by the way, today is Global Accessibility Awareness Day. You know? Okay. Yes, today is Global Accessibility Awareness Day. So in US and Japan held event today. Okay, now enough kidding. So sorry. Maybe a lot of offer for the QA engineers. So there are already many many member fans in Japan. This is a user community called Mablers JP. Mablers JP is was started February of this year. I support their community. So in fact, I supported many user communities in the same way at my previous job at Microsoft from the start. So I don't run this community myself because if a vendor manage community, oh, it's called. A vendor manage the community, it is likely to undermine the spontaneity of users. So let us briefly compare vendor community and user community. those unfamiliar with the community believe the vendor community is easier to participants, and the information they get is more accurate. From the marketing perspectives, only the vendor community is sufficient. But one-way information dissemination cannot measure where participants truly understood the information. Many people in the vendor community is interested in getting information from vendors. Therefore, there is a lot of one-way communication. Participants are passive. The user community has a culture of mutual support. Sorry. This is not to dismiss the vendor community. The vendor community is more of a seminar, I think. Mabel already had vendor community before I joined Mabel. So Mabel has provided all the latest information and official information to this group. I enjoy interacting with the participants here, but basically everyone is passive. So, but there are limits to one-way information dissemination. In addition, vendors cannot confirm whether participants really needs the information. So I don't think developers will be successful if vendors just send out information one way or the other. It is the vendor being lazy. I believe that vendors need to foster spontaneity in order to succeed. We need to not only answer their needs, but also we need to let them uncover our need well as well. It is necessary to it is necessary for them to be truly successful. It's very difficult to do. Okay. Sorry. Maybe it's short session. Thanks. That's all. Thank you.
All right. So the short session and the watching session, do you have any questions for it's too bad? All right. So I have a question to just a second. Please use this mic.
I have a question for Sensei. So do you have a real example or real story to using ChatGPT? So I want to know your case study. So makes sense? So for example, the articles and the blogs like that.
Yes, me basically now I use it for all the content I create as a starting point. So for maybe not a tweet because it's quite short and I can write the sentence, but the way I work is I have ideas I want to speak about, and my first step is to say I want to write a blog post about this. I give the few ideas. I say I want it to contain this, and it will generate it for me. Sometimes it's one shot, it's good, but I still need to rewrite because I don't like the way it speaks. Yeah, it's around both way. I give the ideas, it expand it to have a bigger structure, and then me I polish with my tone of speaking, my personal touch. Thank you.
Thank you. And please continue your question, maybe for production, right?
It was not a real question. Can you do some yo-yo, please?
Yeah. It's great question. Not question.
So if you can pass our skill certification, maybe skill certification we prepared, so you can get yo-yo because 404 Japanese pronounce yon or yo, yo-yo, yo-yo. So it's joke item. but yo-yo is 本格的、競技用ってなんていうんですかね。So professional yo-yo. So Yeah. Maybe you saw my yo-yo place.
He had a question. He said he wants to.
Demo. Okay. もう一個。Okay. So if you want to get yo-yo, so please. No? It's your expense. 下がらないと危ないですか？いや、見えない。見えない。なるほど。見せるのか。OK? すげえ。Right. All right, thank you. Okay. Any other questions?
I have one question to one say. So I think ChatGPT's knowledge based on the data from September 2021, right? So I think we generate the blog article or other documents coming from the past ideas, I think. So please give me the ideas how to mix new ideas or new trend in theirs.
Yeah. Now there is GPT-4 that is able to connect to internet and to have some content, but it's not available to anyone yet. But it's the case if you have the preview access to GPT-4. So it's not needed anymore to base it on 2021 data. Yeah. So it's coming soon for everyone.
Any other questions? Okay. All right. Thank you, the Wasim and the other show, and a good presentation. All right. Okay, so we have the wrap-ups for this meetup. Again, we'd like to say thank you for joining today. And すいません、ここは9時退出な感じですか？そうなんですね。All right. This. The field guide said it's available to use until the 23時 11 p.m. But we don't have any plans to stay here until the 11 p.m. But so we have the all of sessions has been finished. So a little bit we'd like to, if you guys are available now, to connect each other, and it means we would like to have the networking time a little bit. So please talk, stand up and please talk and communicate each other, right? Thank you. Right. By the way, if some guy want to go out for dinner or having any beers or something, we want to have the reservation in your restaurants. So please raise your hand. Want to go out for grabbing a beer or something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Okay, 5. All right, thank you. Just please have chatting a little bit.